Well, hello there. Welcome. Let's get this started. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on the video. And I really hope you enjoy what you see today. I'm going to be reacting to the Top anime, well, best anime of 2025. I have not seen the video yet. And once I'm done with the video, I'm going to give you my selection of my 10 anime that I think is the best anime of 2025. The list will include some sequels, but I tried to not put any. I try to put as little sequels into my list as possible because I would rather highlight new shows over sequels, except for a select few because I can't not put them on the list. I'm sorry. But without further ado, let's get into Giguk's video and let's see how his list differs from mine.
2025 was a year of turbulent times, uncertain futures, but if there was one thing I could rely on to pull through, of course, it was anime.
Of course. Fucking My Hero and Solo Leveling is so fucking good. The Garo slide. Fuck no.
If there was any doubt over anime's position in the world, 2025 has undoubtedly proven it is not just popular, but there are titles that can achieve full-blown mainstream success. Demon Slayer became not only the highest-grossing anime movie of all time, but broke into the top 10.
Wait, how the fuck did it lose to Jurassic World, Minecraft, Lilo and Stitch, and Avatar? I never watched the Zootopia, but I'm sorry. This anime movie was better than all of that. And if you think I'm wrong, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. The Demon Slayer movie was a beast. It was a banger. And there wasn't much better than it last year. There's one or two things, but when it comes to movies, no, there was nothing better.
Grossing movies of the year, beating out such IPs as How to Train Your Dragon and frickin' Superman. This movie was an absolute spectacle that delivered the Demon Slayer experience I expected, but damn did it feel long. I think about an hour in, I left.
No, it was a very long movie. Honestly, it was very fucking long.
To go pee, managed to find time to finish my college degree, got a job, started a family, came back, and I think we're about halfway through the Yakuza flashback. But they weren't the only one in the headlines, because One Punch Man fans ate this.
Please don't. Like, no, we didn't. It was trash. That was garbage. They should feel ashamed. And fuck Bandai. They're the main reason the fucking show bombed as bad as it did. But that doesn't change the fact that for some reason they kept putting filters over everything. Bandai's not to blame for that. That is the fucking people that made the show. And they should also be feel very fucking ashamed.
This year, and then collectively threw up.
Yeah.
After 6 years of waiting, One Punch Man dropped a bomb not even Oppenheimer could recreate, giving us a season of animation so impressive, Google Slides is about to license it out as an add-on. History has taught us that everything good comes in threes. We've had the big three of World War II, the big three of colleges, the big three of tennis, the big three of shonen, and now, this year has finally given us the big three of frames. As the
Wait. Okay, yeah. I don't know the beginning after that end. I never watched that. But yeah, no, Blue Lock was still better than One Punch Man, surprisingly. Especially the last episodes. Fucking hell. The final, especially the final fucking match they had. That was insane. But until then, everything was bad. The frame, the individual frames, like the slideshows that they had looked cool, but Blue Lock, it's so sad what happened to Blue Lock as well.
As the community responded to this failure on a scale anime had not seen before, Berserk fans could only helplessly watch this unfold on the sidelines like,
hey, you wanted this, right? You wanted the real deal? That's what this is. Wake up, you're in the middle of it. Stop complaining.
This was the year where two letters shot fear into anyone that heard them. AI.
So is it any wonder people are afraid of technology?
Technology!
It's such an old video and it's still so funny.
And the anime community was not immune to its effects. We had masses of fake scenes posted with the release of Sora 2. Rock got its own AI companion, as if people weren't lonely enough, and of course, OpenAI allowed users to flood the internet with Ghibli AI drawings. Looking Miyazaki right in the eye and thinking, man, I don't think you hate anime enough yet. And if you're like me and just realized that all this happened within the space of 1 year, yeah.
So much shit happened last year.
I know. I wouldn't blame you if being on the internet felt exhausting at some points this year, and the online landscape was as confusing as ever to navigate. We needed hope. We needed positivity. We were yearning for some real human interaction.
What the fuck was that? What even is that? Okay, I was on the internet, but I've never fucking seen this before. Like, when did this start? Like, what is this? This is real art? Makes us, what? What is this image? Was I living under a rock? What is this fucking giant jawed freerun image?
Beg of you! There's no time left!
Don't be afraid! He's a very good man!
Offer up your energy!
But the year ended with actual people united under one banner. One drawing a Freerun with a chin so chopped she could withstand an uppercut from Mike Tyson. The voice actor for Freerun changed it to her profile picture.
What the fuck? What is this? And why did I not see any of this?
Artists all around the world came together to help draw her in a rare case of all-around positivity being
That is funny though.
spread online. This was the alive human theory. Real human-to-human interaction. No bots, no AI, just sheer determination to pick up a pencil and the will to follow what we knew Himmel the hero would do. Once and for all, proving the strongest AI slob can still be defeated by the weakest pencil user. Did anything else happen this year?
Oh, this was really good. This was really good. Unfortunately, it wasn't very long. Like, the amount of episodes was very short. But no, he did a really good job with
I
this.
made my own anime or something. This is the part where I normally get to my honorable mentions, but today I have something. I really put continuations of shows I've already talked about on previous lists unless it really goes above and beyond and gives me something new to say about it. But that doesn't mean I didn't continue enjoying them. Dandadan might not have gotten the same buzz that episode 7 provided, but I've really enjoyed the character-focused development we got. Everyone likes to talk about the weirdness or the flashy action, but this shit is doing romance better than most romance anime right now.
That is true.
About a year ago, I introduced my anime illiterate mum to Apothecary Diaries, so I thought I'd be a loving
I actually never watched this.
son this year and save myself from watching season 2 until the Christmas break so I can experience it with her, by which point she had already watched it 4 times. She still doesn't even know its name. She just calls it Mau Mau. City, the animation, really did not lie about
I also haven't watched this. Fucking hell, there's a lot I still have to
its
watch.
name, being in my top 3 of best animated shows of the year that was so close to making the list, but just didn't quite meet the same level of unhinged, gut-busting laughter Nichijou gave me. Now if we're talking most unhinged show this year, that was Nukitashi.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I think I watched like the first episode of the show and I immediately dropped it. Is this is too unhinged to even me.
I would love to talk about this one more, but the amount of frames I'd be able to get away showing here would equal that of an episode of One Punch Man 3. So
Yeah, no, that I could not.
low leveling. Now I know you're going to ask me about this, so let me just set the record straight.
And the anime award goes to... Oh... Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling.
I like Solo Leveling.
I agree.
Solo Leveling is a series that knows exactly what it is. It does one thing, but does that one thing so exceedingly well, you do not care about anything else. And this season delivered some of the best power fantasy or farming action spectacle you can find, and I ate it up. But that doesn't also mean I think it's the best anime, or has the best main character. To me, this is not a 3-star Michelin dish, it is a McDonald's chicken nugget, but the best fucking nugget you've tasted in your life. And who wants to live in a world without nugs?
Nice.
Last year, I did a cop-out by putting a movie at the top of the list. Thankfully, this year was so stacked with choices, I didn't need to do that again. But if I did, 2 titles would definitely be making the list. Chainsaw Man
Yep.
Lived up to the absolute cinema meme it originally started. This wasn't just another shonen movie adaptation, it was a perfectly crafted cinematic experience, and I think it says a lot that for how much jaw-dropping, mind-blowing action sequences this movie delivered on, the quieter, serene pool scene is the one my mind always comes back to. But standing toe-to-toe with that, in my eyes, is 100 meters. If Chainsaw Man was that critically acclaimed blockbuster, 100 meters would be that Oscar-nominated indie movie with moments equally as breathtaking and
Never watched it.
cinematic. Cinema.
Fuck's sake.
This is a film about running, about people whose lives are about running. You see people who destroy their lives over obsessions, over chasing records, chasing achievements, sacrificing everything, only to wonder what the point of it all was to begin with. You see people unable to fully commit to themselves in fear of finding out they're not as good as they think they are, crafting a prison of their own anxieties they're unable to break out of. You see people so desperately searching for meaning in what they do, unsure if they live to run or run to live. People who've always been second best yet still have not given up on believing in themselves, breaking the reality life has crafted for them, and then halfway through the movie you take a step back and think, wait, we're still talking about running, right? This movie doesn't just speak to the soul, it goddamn drags it out, shakes it by the scruff of its neck, and shouts full volume at it. Somebody, somewhere is going to find this movie at the right time.
I just realized I've been doing something wrong this whole time. There we go. Now I'm correct. Sorry about that. I needed to just change my model for a second. Carrying
their
on.
lives, and there's going to be a line uttered by a character in here that shoots so deeply to their core, they're going to switch their life into manual mode after having lived it on auto the entire time.
Okay, so this is where his top 10 starts. Okay, that's interesting. His top 10 starts with Gachiakuta. That's an interesting place to put it.
Do you ever feel like if you watch enough anime, so many of them don't just start looking the same, but also start to feel the same? Gachiakuta spits on that, taking pre-established conventions and says, nah, I'ma do my own thing. This is set in the world of trash. Taste. But unlike the latter, there is absolutely nothing garbage flavor about presenting one of the most insane worlds shonen has to offer. Have a look at these characters. Now, unless you've already seen them,
I don't know any of them. Oh no, I remember the one on the top right. I don't know what show it is though. I think I watched an abridged of them with this character. I don't know where these characters are from. None of these look like Kirito, but they all look very similar to Kirito.
You might not be able to tell that these are 5 characters from 5 completely different shows.
They're the same picture.
Now take one character from Gachiakuta. Not only will you never be able to mistake the show they're from, but their style, their attitude, how they carry themselves, everything about them screams expression that you know exactly what type of personality they have. Now multiply that by all the minor characters you'll ever see. Gachiakuta has a design philosophy that permeates every single aspect of the show, creating a visual language with a vibe that is absolutely unmatched. Neon lights flood the back alleys, the streets are crude and gritty with a stench that almost permeates through the screen. Graffiti plasters every wall you walk past. The world doesn't just feel lived in, every little detail exudes a sense of character that communicates a story to you without having to utter a single word. The author teamed up with a real
They did a really good job. The fact that there's no like expedition done, they show you everything instead of trying to tell you everything.
graffiti artist to help craft the art behind it, which just adds that layer of authenticity to its visual identity. And also, just look at her. She is a character in her own world. Then you have the power system. It's trash. Parentheses affectionate. Having a system where objects treated with love and care are imbued with powers is not only original, but
it is original, but it does take a lot of inspiration from Bleach. Bleach lately has been inspiring a lot of shows. JJK, this, Sword of the Demon Hunter. There's a lot of shows that take a lot of inspiration from Bleach. There's a ton of others, I just can't remember their names right now. Or what they are. But yeah, I know there's a lot that takes inspiration from Bleach.
Serves as another vehicle for characters to express themselves. It's the only show where you'll see characters use scissors, umbrellas, gloves, hair cones, and glasses as weapons, but then you start to wonder, why is that object this character's vital instrument? What does that say about their personality, their backstory? Which objects do I have that define me? It's ideas like this that feed your imagination to the possibilities it opens up, and that's what I felt watching Gachiakuta in its entirety. It might not be the most polished shonen of our generation, or have a story that pushes it to new boundaries, yet I constantly found myself hitting that next episode just so I could spend a bit more time in the insane world it created.
Yeah. Okay, what is his number 9?
The Lord and Master of Luna Mountain!
Tell us bad news! We need to hustle!
Yes!
What happened over the past millennium? And what is it that brings them here?
Fantasy is the
Clevatess.
double-edged sword of the anime world.
The show was insanely good. The fact that it felt unique, it also felt old. It felt like an old school show visually, like the animation style, but it also felt unique because there was nothing else like it, in my opinion.
Swing
Also very gritty and dark.
one side, and you have some of the most critically acclaimed, beloved shows in the entire medium, respected by everyone
I need to start watching Free Run Season 2 still.
who watches them, but swing the other side, and you're greeted with some of the trashiest, stinkiest shows you can find in the medium. And I'm not talking about the Gachiakuta kind. So when a new fantasy anime comes out, I'm always thinking, which side is this one gonna swing? Alright, looks like we've got some hyper-violent action, could be edgy, could be mature, unsure. Oh hey, there's proper thought put into the world building and politics, so it's not just the same copy-paste Demon Lord fantasy world. That swings that way. Okay, the hero's been given an immortal body. Sounds like this could potentially be power fantasy-ish. Yeah, that's a little stinky. But then, I watch as the hero yeets herself off a cliff, leaving just her mangled corpse remaining, only to have her body parts grotesquely shoved back into place as you hear the crackling of bones over the most guttural scream of pain as her body is forcibly put back together, little by little, while the bandits around her can only watch on in horror. And it was this moment that I realized, oh, I'm in.
Yep.
Approved!
Clevatess is the kind of brutal dark fantasy show I've been missing. Not a full-on masterpiece like Berserk, but just a fun show that takes itself just seriously enough. You have a protagonist that is heroic and kicks ass without being annoyingly idealistic or stupidly overpowered. Also, she has an eye patch. The world and power system isn't just copying off every other power fantasy out there. The protagonist has an eye patch. The violence is gratuitous while being purposeful and setting the tone of the story. You can see the hallmarks of what could have turned into an edgy fantasy, slavery, prostitution, but then you're reminded that anime can actually treat these subjects with the weight that they deserve. It's not always for the faint of heart, but it's the kind of grungy 90s fantasy show anime hasn't seen in a long time. She's got a goddamn eye patch!
The fuck am I watching? I have no idea what this is.
You ever see a new parent and how their eyes light up when talking about their kids? They show you a million photos of the same pose. They brag about the smallest achievement their kid was able to do. You feel a sense of pride you've never felt before towards anything else when they speak. That's what watching Medalist makes you feel like. This is a show about ice skating, but it's also a show about role models and the rewards of what being a great role model can get you. Inori is an 11-year-old girl who's been told she's too old to enter the figure skating world. She's shy, insecure, and collects worms for a hobby. This girl is going to get absolutely destroyed in school. But just by finding one person that believes in her, she's able to see something in herself that she never could before, shine in a
This is not my type of show.
way she never believed, and you're invited to be a part of that transformation. Medalist grabs you with grounded, well-realized characters all around, doing something revolutionary by treating its child characters like normal characters. Because did you know? Children are people too. When you think about it, it's kind of fucked up how much your life insecurities and self-image are defined by a few early moments in your life. Maybe a teacher said that you were dumb, and then from then on you just accept that as a fact. Or maybe, hypothetically, you were told your hair looks silly, so you start spiking it up like fucking Sasuke. Or a friend said you were boring, so you buy this Scarface poster to pretend like you have a personality. Or you look like a nerd with glasses, so you start wearing contacts every day. So seeing someone who was able to be set on the correct path because they found the right person, found the right role model, spoke to a part of my younger self that might not have gotten that same opportunity. Every small achievement, every small step they take becomes a collective win. And when they pull through and hit that complete triple axel after numerous falls, you'll be shedding tears like a proud dad telling the person next to you, "That's my kid! Yeah, that's my kid!"
Yeah, it's just unfortunately not my type of show. Like, it looks good, and the emotion and everything, that's cool, but that's just not my type of show. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I just never got into it. I like stopped on the second episode. I just could not get into it.
Horror is one of those genres anime rarely gets right. On one hand, I think the medium makes it harder to get genuine scares compared to its live-action counterparts, but then one too many times we get a promising project like Uzumaki that took a bit too much inspiration from its source material and spiraled its own production into madness. I was beginning to lose faith, but thankfully the summer Hikaru died not only restored that, but has set the bar of how anime can achieve.
I'm also not the biggest fan of horror, so there's that too.
Horror of the highest quality. So you may be wondering, what's so different about this one?
He's gay, but he has a special connection to classical music. There's many things that are interesting about him.
I'd heard so many great things about this manga, but I watched the anime knowing nothing about it. I wanted to go in raw, and apparently, so did they. And within the first few minutes, it's evidently clear how this show succeeds where so many others have faltered. Almost immediately, you are drawn in with this eerie sense of dread that crawls under your skin and doesn't let up. Every scene oozes a sinister air as thick as the summer humidity you're watching on screen. It's not about jump scares, it's the ghastly imagery that gives you a peek into the eldritch horrors that lay beneath the shadows. Horrific entities brought to life with haunting arts that make the hair on the back of your neck stand. Atmosphere is why this is a masterclass of animated horror. Behind all that though is a succinct exploration of grief and love between two bros that is 100% undeniably, categorically platonic.
So gross. So good.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I mean,
What the fuck? No.
just look at this man. He's so straight he's about to have sex with another man so he knows what the woman he goes on dates with will feel like. Cause you know, when you have a Lovecraftian nightmare creature wearing the skin of your dead friends, you first gotta figure out so many things. What is it? Is it dangerous? Does it come in peace? Or just you?
You know, maybe Michael's gay, maybe he's not. He is.
Just, it wasn't for me. I did not like it. Why is that so low? Oh. This should be higher. In my opinion, this should be a lot higher. I know where this is going. Very obviously where this is going.
China.
Yeah.
Has continually been on the rise in the animation space, and this year it really felt like there was always at least one show per season that stood out in the highly competitive world of animation to be one of the hot shows to watch. And in my eyes, their crowning achievement of 2025 came in the form of To Be Hero X. This is China's own take into the superhero genre that asks the question, what would society be like if people could gain superpowers based on the social media influence they have? India is now a world superpower. Only
Oh my god.
fans is more powerful than Disney. But in the world of To Be Hero X, anyone
Yeah, no, this show was a 10 out of 10. The animation, the art, the action, everything.
can gain superpowers as long as you are able to convince the masses to believe in you. Trust is how you gain power in this world. People's mass perceptions dictate not only who becomes a superhero, but the types of powers they get and the life they lead. There's Furman, a firefighter who saved a young girl from a falling ceiling that went viral, gaining him the power of incredible strength and invulnerability at the expense of never being able to take a proper shit ever again because he can never bend over thanks to his immovable image. Then there's this guy. He got his powers from a League of Legends chat lobby. The risk with a series like this is that you lack a central protagonist to be able to follow the story through, but it more than makes up for it by being able to explore a multitude of interesting ideas with the premise that they've set up. Not every story is as equally compelling as the next, but every hero is wholly distinct both thematically and visually. Slowly but surely, you are able to piece together the timeline of events and see it all come together at the end. And if that wasn't enough for a reason to watch it, then there's also Hero X, who has the interesting ability to run through a season's worth of animation budget every time he snaps his fingers. Outside of the unique world setting and power,
Such an insane power fucking system. And this man alone has he's got some of the fucking craziest powers in any show, like, period.
system, this has some of the coolest action sequences I've seen in an animated TV series. And if that still isn't enough for a reason to jump on, watch it because the creator's a pretty cool guy also. I don't know where I heard that one from.
But yeah, no, that I 100% agree that that show is amazing.
Of course,
Animal cruelty, domestic violence, and what the fuck? What show
there's
is
a lot
this?
of misery, but it is the same misery that is all around us. The trees here are in misery, and the birds are in
Oh, it's this show. I also never watched this show.
misery. I don't think they sing, they just screech in pain.
I do know about it, and a lot of people have I've spoken to people that watched it. They enjoyed it. But also, yeah, no, it's not my cup of tea.
I remember the first time I watched the movie Requiem for a Dream, a movie so shockingly powerful that it disturbed me to my core, yet allowed me to experience emotions few pieces of fictions had been able to make me feel. Its message has left an imprint on me that remains to this day and continues to be one of those films I'm glad I experienced but never wanted to watch again. I said exactly the same thing to myself after watching Takopi's Original Sin. This is one of those shows that leaves you completely drained, giving you the sinking feeling that drops down to the pit of your stomach at the end of every episode. Genre? Drama? No, this is a straight-up horror anime for your emotions. It's about an alien, Takopi, from the planet Happy. All he wants to do is spread smiles and happiness without a single shred of negativity. He's the type of guy who'd hear about a racism problem and try to solve it by running. Now pair him with the Trauma Trio, 3 kids whose collective future therapist bill would equal the GDP of Norway. That's right.
Hey, little buddy, how are you doing? Oh my god! Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh my god! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
It's Japanese Smiling Friends. This is a series that wastes no time into throwing you into the absolute deep end of emotional trauma and letting you sink further from there. Watching the first episode of Takopi is like...
What the fuck? I knew the show was bad, but what the fuck?
And then the series just continues pounding your emotions into the ground. It presents you with some of the heaviest subjects a child can go through with no filters to help avert your eyes. If I had a nickel for every time one of these kids got whipped by a belt, I'd have 0 nickels. Because their parents used a fist. Everyone is an asshole. Everyone is the worst kind of human they can possibly be. Then when you're shown that faint ray of sunlight at the end of the tunnel, your first instinct is to think, oh no. But that's not to say there is no point to all of this suffering. For how despicable some of these actions you witness are, it constantly reminds you that the biggest villains are the parents who failed them. Parental neglect, physical abuse, and worst of all, a law-accurate Asian mum. Each kid is a product of their own toxic environment, and for how suffocatingly pessimistic this show can be, it never devolves into being downright cynical. It's an important reminder of how trauma can be passed on, how the worst environments can shape the worst people, and no matter how hard life can be, nothing is more suffocating than having to deal with it alone. Because in the end, aren't the friends we made the trauma bonding we did along the way? Wait, is that how it goes?
I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
Okay. Yeah, I can see why someone would put that high on a list. But it's not the type of show that I can watch.
Saddle up! 2026.
So many people have tried to get me to watch this. So many. I've seen the clips, I've seen the fucking animation, I know it is good. I refuse. I'm sorry, I can't. I know I'll enjoy it. I know it's good. I just can't.
This is now officially the year of the horse, but unfortunately Uma Musume didn't get that memo because like your typical gacha game...
Actually, that isn't true. I can, and I will watch this at some point still. I've just got too much shit to get through. There's a couple of shows that I haven't watched from last year. This is one of them. It is on my list. The spin-off of Gintama and Spy X Family. Those 3 from last year I still need to watch.
Well, it came a bit early. This was the year the internet collectively fell into the Uma Musume rabbit hole, and Cinderella Grey embodies every damn reason of why this franchise became a global phenomenon. This was the highest intensity, no bullshit, all action sports anime to come out in 2025, delivering that level of jump out you see hype in every single episode you put on. You are given little room to breathe, going from one race to the next, every match injecting that burst of adrenaline your body starts to crave. If you were living under a rock last year, yes, there is a gacha game of the same IP, yes, this is anthropomorphized horse girls running against each other based on real historic.
Yep. I've seen all of the shit that's come out about this anime
races in Japan, which I've already talked about when I covered the show last month, but you don't need to know any of that to enjoy the spectacle it delivers. That rush as you witness that last eruption is as addictive as any drug. You hear the roar of the crowd as the commentator eggs them on, as you watch athletes digging deeper than they ever have before. Suddenly, this janky-ass anime girl run becomes the most hype thing you've ever seen, as you shout out, "God, this is what peak performance looks like!" And then the race is over. You calm down, switch on the next episode, and experience it all again. Wait, that last paragraph sounded familiar. Was that ChatGPT? No, in fact, it was GigGPT, because I just copied it from myself. I've already said everything I have to say about it in that video, so you know what? I'll just let ChatGPT rewrite my own work to tell you again, in the style of Giguk. That moment when the final eruption hits, your monkey brain just activates. The crowd is screaming. The commentator is absolutely losing it. The athletes are pushing past every physical limit known to mankind. And suddenly, this janky, low FPS anime girl run has your full, undivided soul. You're sitting there like, why am I this invested?
What the fuck is going on? Oh, fuck.
As you stand up yelling, "God,
I love AI.
God, this is peak human performance!" at your screen like you've just witnessed the second coming, but it's sponsored by questionable
What the fuck? What does that mean?
animation shortcuts, and then it ends. You blink. You remember you're an adult. You sigh, click the next episode, and willingly let it happen to you all over again, because anime has once again tricked you into feeling emotions through sheer bullshit and spectacle. What the fuck does ChatGPT think I sound like?
Wanker.
You can go watch my actual video if you want to hear everything I have to say about it better than GigGPT ever could. Okay,
Oh,
I
God.
promise I'm going to stop placing my own work now. Anyway, number 3. Bâan, the boundaries of adult.
This was good. The only reason I won't put this on my top 10 is because it's too short. But I did enjoy this. This is definitely an honorable mention.
This was a new anime made by a fairly new creator in the industry.
Okay, the actual number 3. Yep. The show was phenomenal.
Attention spans are fucked. Memes are incomprehensible. I can't be the only one who feels like every day I see something that makes me lose IQ.
Fucking AI. I love AI.
Until my last remaining brain cells are stuck there on life support, powering the last bit of sentient thought I have. But this year, there was no show that healed my soul more than watching Apocalypse Hotel. In an era of brain rot, this one gave me pure brain ripe. Apocalypse Hotel is a different kind of slice of life. It has all the hallmarks that make up the genre. A quieter, subdued approach to storytelling, charming characters, a whimsical, bright air that complements its calming atmosphere. And then you keep watching.
This show was fucking... Yeah, the show was fucking wild. I love the shit out of the show. It is so chaotic. It is so insane. And there is very few that actually that beat this, in my opinion.
Okay, maybe there's a bit of brain rot in this one. Doomslayer Tanukis, Power Rangers fighting Kangaroo Thanos, a fucking mech battle in the middle of a desolate cityscape. You can put on an episode and have no idea what kind of unhinged shenanigans you're going to encounter next, but behind the chaos and the laughter, it constantly delivers a story with a heart few series are able to reach. A door-opening robot that fails at opening doors, a hospitality robot with no one left to serve, a hotel that opens to a place with a population of 0. This is a world with no meaning, where characters are forced to find their own. How is it Do you find purpose in a place where there is none? Watching this band of lovable misfits allows you to reflect about the purpose you may be missing from your own life. It's a show so hopelessly optimistic, steeped in layers of melancholy. A story set in a bleak place where no hope should be able to be found, yet it still is able to greet you with the warmest smile. Where years, decades, centuries pass in the blink of an eye, characters you love age, move on. All that is familiar around you slowly begins to change, always reminding you that time will continue to move, with or without you. It may be painful, but it's life, and it can be a lot brighter if you let it be. Episode 11 might just be my favorite slice of life episode of all time. An episode that breaks convention. It doesn't try to be entertaining. It doesn't try to tell you everything. It sits you down,
Yep. No, this was beautiful.
shuts out the noise around you, and allows you to just feel. Ending it with a line that made me stop, walk away for a moment, and remind myself that through all the chaos, life can be pretty damn wonderful. This is the kind of magical feeling this show gives you. It doesn't just show you a slice of life, it reminds you what living that life means in the first place.
Fuck's sake.
Was this supposed to be
Yes, this was this entire episode, this entire anime I've enjoyed, but this final season was the pinnacle. There was, out of all of the seasons, this is where they hit their highest peak.
Shonen action shows are the lifeblood of the anime industry. They are the most popular, have the most influence, and are very often some of the very first anime we end up watching. It's these shows that help shape a young generation of people, and I certainly can't forget what they instilled into me. As a kid too young to understand anything, I saw heroes fighting against evil to protect the things they stand for. They stood up for those who couldn't, represented all the good in the world, and though I grew up and realized the real world isn't as simple or idealistic as the one portrayed in the realm of
Gintama, my #1 show of all time. Nothing ever beats Gintama, because Gintama's amazing, Gintama's hilarious, and Gintama has actually an insanely good story if you go past the jokes. If you look past the jokes and you look at what's happening in the background with all the characters, with everything else, it is probably it's by far my #1 show of all time.
fiction. It's these stories that help set me on the right path. It gave me hope. It gave me role models. It taught me about the person I should aspire to be. To me, this is what shonen is meant to be about. This is the shonen I grew up with. This is the shonen I know, and I don't think many shows have distilled that concept down as purely as My Hero Academia has. Regular viewers will know that I've had an up and down relationship with this franchise. I instantly fell in love in season 1, watched it explode in popularity in season 2 and 3, then gradually fell out of favor as other shows took the spotlight, but I always kept watching in hopes that it could at least end with a bang. And now, 10 years later, I can wholeheartedly say, boy, did it ever.
Fucking love this shit.
This final season delivered a spectacle worthy of...
It's sad that we're done though. Sad that we'll never get... I don't care about Vigilantes. Vigilantes is not this. This is done. We'll never get this again.
The legacy it will leave. And now that it's all over, looking back, I feel like My Hero Academia came out in a strange transitionary period.
But at the same time, I'm glad it's done. I'm glad they can move on to something else. Because you don't want a show that goes on forever and ever and just keeps rehashing and redoing and changing things up. I'm not talking about One Piece, I'm talking about fucking Marvel, DC, because they never fucking end. They're always trying something fucking different, rehashing characters, remaking characters. Oh no, this is now this character's son, and they're carrying on with... No. End. This show is an anime about fucking superheroes, about heroes fighting against evil, and it has an end. It has an ending. Also, One Piece needs to end already. Like, just end. already.
In a time where its contemporaries were getting darker, getting weirder, getting bloodier, it almost felt like MHA was the squeaky clean, straight-laced student in a classroom of delinquents. And yet, it managed to achieve what so many long-running series have failed to do. For after 10 years of characters, action, drama, and development, it was able to close out standing tall, shouting a clear and concise message for the world to hear that stayed completely true to what it always was. Anyone can be a hero. Anyone should try to be a hero, even if it's just for the people around you. It's hopeful, it's optimistic, it's somewhat maybe cheesy, but it is very My Hero Academia. This may not go down in history as everyone's favorite show, but I will remember it as a testament of what the beating heart of shonen should be. We will always need heroes. We will always need hope. We will always need a story like this. And at the end of this era, I'm glad it was there to remind us one last time.
Yep. And people that don't like the ending, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is another show that I need to watch still at some point. I have not watched it yet.
こんなに大勢いるのに誰一人同じ人はいない。そりゃ争いは絶えないでしょ。
何度でも
In my line of work, I watch a lot of shows. I remember a lot of shows, but rarely do I have the time to go back and rewatch them. It's only when something truly lingers, a story that grabs hold and follows me, that occupies my mind whenever I have a free moment, that one line that sticks with me not because it was witty or punchy, but because it touched on something deep, something meaningful, something real. I've rewatched Orb, On the Movements of the Earth, more times this year than any other shows from the past 10 years, and yet I am still as moved, as awestruck, as absolutely mesmerized as the first time I watched it. Why am I telling you all this?
わからない。私の感動を必死に伝えてる。
This was a show that, when half done, I put as 4th on my list last year, not knowing that when I finished the entire thing, it would become my anime of the decade. That's a big statement, and you may not agree. You may have other shows you prefer. It may not have hit you the same way it hits me, but that is my...
Yeah, no. Being anime of the decade is a massive statement. Yeah, I need to watch this again at some point. I need to actually watch this at some point.
My truth. And for a moment, I wanted to invite
actually an anime I forgot about.
You to see what that truth meant. A show like this comes along only a few times in a generation. It is not only one of the most original, beautiful, and nigh on unpredictable series to come out in modern times, but it's one of those stories that has the power to teach you something about yourself. Without preaching, without telling you what's correct, it presents you with profound ideas and helps guide you to find your own answers. Orb is an anime about heliocentrism. It's about proving the Earth moves around the sun, but also it's a story about truth, about people who fight for truth, about the lengths people will go to prove truth, about people who have their truths challenged and respond to it without disrespecting the person that challenged it. An egotistical priest putting his trust in the wisdom of a peasant, a devout believer defending the words of an atheist. The heroes of the story are not the ones who are right, it's the ones who are willing to accept that they could be wrong, who will listen to those that oppose them and try to understand even if they don't necessarily agree. These are the people that embody the human spirit, that together ignite a flame that transcends lifetimes. Every character is memorable, every line powerful, every journey poetic. This is simply one of the most beautiful stories I've ever witnessed. And the more time that has passed since I first finished it, the more times I've rewatched it over this year, the stronger its message has resonated with me as I looked out and saw the world as it is today. Unlike the world of Orb, we live in a time when information is more readily available than it ever has been, and yet truth has never felt so hard to find.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that spread lies online.
Technology that should have allowed us to grow closer has divided us even further. Knowledge is no longer the currency we lack. It's trust, a lack of trust that has eroded the respect we have of our fellow person. Ideas are not built on, they are condensed down, dismantled, and publicly shamed. Everyone is a soldier, enlisted to fight in an ideological war of exchanges, where common ground is no man's land and the winner is decided not by who is more right, but who can prove the other side more wrong. How does anyone navigate the landscape we are currently in? And I think that's why I was just so constantly drawn back to this series. A story like this is the reminder I needed that the world doesn't have to work like this, that progress is made through collaboration, not dissociation, that disagree or not, we are still in this together, in an era that will be shaped by our collective hands. Whether any of us have the right answer or not, it's thanks to this show that I remembered, as long as you can continue to question whether you are right.
不正解は無意味を意味しない。何かを知るということだ。指導説を信仰してる。このためにわざわざ生まれてきた。
きっと迷いの中に倫理がある。筆教。それは知性だ。
You won't find the wrong answer.
Fucking hell. Now that we're done with Giguk's top anime of 2025, I'm going to get into mine. My criteria for what I put on here is very simple. I try not to put any sequels on here. That I did break that rule for some because I believe that they should be on here. But I try not to put any sequels if possible, unless they're just that good. The shows that I wanted to put on there, but either they were a sequel that didn't match up to the new shows, they didn't match what I believe should be on a top 10 anime list, or they just were beat out by other shows in general. Stuff like To Your Eternity Season 3. Brilliant show. Loved it. Loved Season 1. Enjoyed Season 2. Loved Season 3. It was very weird. It was very chaotic when it comes to the modern day setting, and it was also very thoughtful. Bâan, Giguk's anime, it was good, but it was only a single episode, and I would have preferred more. Obviously, I'm not going to expect more from just a YouTuber. He did a very good job with it, but yeah, it was good, but I need more than one episode for my top 10. Next, Kaijuu number 8, really good, I enjoyed it. But it was beat out by other stuff, and I'd rather get new anime if I can onto the list, like I said. Call of the Night Season 2, also fucking loved Season 1, loved Season 2, but it lost out. Secrets of the Silent Witch, I really, really enjoyed the show. It just didn't make the list. New Panty Stockings and Garterbelt, also loved the show. It was just beat out by the other shows. Obviously, the New Panty and Stockings anime, we waited for a long time to actually get the sequel. So, yeah. But without further ado, let me get into my top 10. You will notice my top 10. My number 10 is ReZero Season 3. I could not put it on the list. I just enjoyed it that much. It was the whole fight with... Wait, before I continue, there will be spoilers in my top 10, so if you don't like spoilers, thanks for enjoying. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Those that don't mind spoilers, you've probably already watched them. Yeah, with ReZero, the whole fight with all the bishops, with the fact that there is 2 of those, the glutton archbishop, the fact that dude changes at the end caught me by surprise. The fact that they erased the other dude's memory, I can't remember his name, right at the end. The fact that Rem is still asleep saddens me. But, yeah, no, ReZero Season 3, 10 out of 10. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. Number 9, Sword of the Demon Hunter. This is an underrated show, in my opinion. I have not seen or heard anyone talk about this show. This, in my opinion, is a 10 out of 10. The first episode was about an hour long, and then this season was still like 24, 25 episodes long. It goes through multiple timelines. The main character stops aging after the first main episode, the hour-long episode. Something happens to him, and basically it's a touching show. It is a sad, it is a bit tragic at certain points because the main character is outliving everyone around him, which in my opinion it does get sad. But the fact that they go through multiple time frames from the beginning of the show all the way up to scenes that take place in the modern day, well, I would say modern day, but 2009 I think is the latest the show went into. But yeah, really good show. If you haven't watched Sword of the Demon Hunter, go check it out. Number 8, Clevatess. 100% agree with Giga. Clevatess, really good show. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Very dark, very gritty, but just a good show overall. Number 7, Dandadan. Dandadan also fucking phenomenal show. Another sequel, yes, that is true. But I don't care. I enjoyed the hell out of Dandadan. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was fucking phenomenal. All the chaos that happens in Dandadan is just more Dandadan. Can't go wrong with Dandadan. Next, Gachiakuta, number 6. Gachiakuta, also phenomenal. Love the animation, love the characters, love the fight scenes, love the power system. Everything was unique. Like I said during the video, it does take a lot of inspiration from shows like Bleach. But yeah, no, really good. Go check out Gachiakuta if you haven't watched it yet. Number 5, Sanda. I'm sad he did not mention Sanda. Sanda was also fucking 10 out of 10. Really good show. Really loved the character design. Really loved the art style of the show. It was unique. And it's about Santa Claus. What's not to love? It's a Christmas anime. Basically, me and my brother actually saved the show up until Christmas before we watched it. We watched it during December. So yeah, Sanda, brilliant show. If you haven't watched Sanda, go check it out. Number 4, another sequel. I put Solo Leveling at number 4. Solo Leveling, you can't go wrong with Solo Leveling. The aura farming, the chaos, the fucking fight scenes. Yes, the story's not the greatest, but that's not the point. The point is the fucking overpowered power fucking fantasy of the show. No, Solo Leveling does one thing, and it does that one thing insanely fucking well. My number 3 is Lord of Mysteries, another show that not a lot of people talk about. I'm glad you talked about 2BRX. I'm sad he didn't talk about Lord of Mysteries. Lord of Mysteries, in my opinion, is insanely good. The fact that it takes inspiration from SCPs is also one of the reasons why it is so high on the list. I'm a very big SCP fan. But other than that, the animation, the atmosphere, the show has an insane atmosphere when it comes to the world, the environments and everything. The action is really good. The animation, the characters, everything of Lord of Mysteries, really good. And they're actually getting a game soon. Well, hopefully it's soon. They haven't shown any actual gameplay for it yet. They've just shown what it looks like and the character walking around. But yes, no. Lord of Mysteries, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. You can't go wrong with Lord of Mysteries. Also, my number 2, 2BRX. 2BRX is phenomenal. It has a good story. The whole going back in time through each episode to show where everything comes from. Yeah, so when it comes to 2BRX, with the time, they're going back in time the whole time to show how everything started. At first, it is complicated. It is confusing when you first get into it. Is you think, oh, this is the main character. This is what I'm gonna follow, and then no, they're like, no, this isn't the main character. You're gonna go see this guy now, and then this guy, and then this person, and that person, and then you get to X and his power to manipulate reality. X is insanely powerful. He's insanely cool to watch. My number 1 spot. There's 2 animes. I'm not going to change this. There are 2 animes for my number 1 spot. And I'm dividing them like this. My number 1 anime of 2025 and my number 1 sequel of 2025. My Hero Academia final season. No, nothing else. When it comes to the sequels of 2025, nothing beats it. As an anime, I've enjoyed it, My Hero Academia, from the beginning. The show is insanely good, and I've loved it from the beginning, and I've loved it till the end. Like I said in the video, I'm glad it is ending. It is ended, and I'm glad it ended on a banger. It was insanely good. Nothing comes close to it, especially when it comes to sequels. My number one anime, new anime of 2025, Apocalypse Hotel. The show was emotional at times. It was comedic as hell. It was insane with the fight scenes. Out of nowhere, I did not expect the fight scenes in that show. And yeah, no, there was surreal moments in the show. There was the comedy. There was the slice of life. I mean, one of the episodes, the characters are trying to hide a dead body from a detective that is an alien from another planet. And it's a joke throughout the episode. It is funny as fuck. If you haven't watched Apocalypse Hotel, go and watch it. Next, after all of that, I have to mention both Demon Slayer's movie and Chainsaw Man's movie. They're above all of these. The only reason I did not put them on this list is because they're movies, but they are phenomenal, and you need to watch these movies if you haven't watched them yet. If you haven't watched the anime they're based on, go watch them. Go watch the Chainsaw Man anime. Go watch the Demon Slayer anime. Demon Slayer is almost done. Like My Hero Academia, we're almost completely done with Demon Slayer anime-wise. I do not read manga. I have read manga before. I read Bleach just to finish. I read a bit of Bleach when it initially ended in 2012. But I stopped reading it because I knew that it will get an anime one day. Everyone told me I was wrong, and those people can go fuck themselves. I was right. But other than that, there was another manga I read. I can't remember the name, it was a very long time ago. And then there's a manhwa that I read that if you haven't read the manhwa, go read it. It's really good. It's an undead who becomes paladin. It is funny as fuck. About a lich that escapes hell and learns how to become a paladin. It's funny. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing for half the time, and he's trying to be a good guy and fucking it up every time. But no. That is my top 10. I will leave them in the comments and the description. And if you disagree, let me know. Let me know what your top 10 is. Let me know what you enjoyed 2025. And before I end the video, I do want to shout out dragonstreasure.com. They partnered with me, they gave me an affiliate code. If you enjoy teas, coffees, if you want soaps, they have a bunch of different stuff that you can get off their website. If you use the code GamingSyndicate, all caps, at checkout, you can get a 10% off on your entire order. And yeah, no, shout out to them. And also shout out to this guy. This guy. Good subscribe to him. He's very good. He's a very, very big channel, obviously, but he does very good videos. But yeah, thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for watching if you made it to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.